What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you're enjoying the content here on my channel, then make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can help decide what direction the content on my channel goes in the foreseeable future. So to be honest with you guys, I'm not the most experienced person when it comes to anime. A lot of that's because, honestly, I never really knew where to start. When I was a kid, I used to watch Dragon Ball, because I always thought Dragon Ball was a really good kid show. It was really fun to watch, heroes fight, characters fight, different things like that. But I never really knew where to start after that. I mean, I knew that there were animes out there, like there was, Gundam and different things like that. But, it was almost like jumping into, 60 years worth of comics without having any idea where to start. And so it's kind of ironic, because being a person who's read comics for 20 years, I could tell you almost anywhere to start if you want to pick up with a certain character, assuming that I know, I'm all knowledgeable about that character. Whereas with anime, I'm just a lost ball in high weeds. And it's funny to me because when I look at anime, and again, this is from a guy on the outside looking in, so bear with me if my ignorance of anime comes to bear in this video. But from the outside looking in, it always seemed to me that anime was more of this sort of existential discussion on like how a person views the world and their place in the world and all that kind of stuff, and all these emotions go into it and different things like that. I've seen animes which are really weird, where it's like a person will take a bite of food and it's like this super, dramatic, like, I'm eating this food, and they'll get so amped up. I don't know if that's part of the whole anime culture or not, but, for me, it's always kind of intriguing because with the Batman anime show, oh my God, I guess it's a movie, dude, it looks so beast. It looks so amazing. I am so hyped about this. It looks so awesome because it looks like it's basically bridging this amazing gap. Like Batman as a character over the years has had some character exploration, but for the most part, almost everything about Batman is basically just this guy who's essentially just a human who dresses as a bat. He's really smart. He's got some martial arts skills. He fights some bad guys and the day's saved. There are some great stories that come in between, like Nightfall, for example, was an answer to the question, what happens if Batman fails? And then you have some really cool iconic stories like, The Long Halloween, which is sort of this post-Crisis on Infinite Earths retelling of the origin story of Two-Face. There's a lot of cool things that go into like the Batman mythos and so on and so forth. But for me, he was largely just kind of the same guy that he always was. He's just a guy who dresses in a bat suit and beats up criminals in the middle of the night. In all honesty, if you want to read some of the best storytelling when it comes to Batman, read something called World's Greatest Superheroes, Batman's War on Crime. It looks amazing and it is incredibly well told. It's written by Paul Dini, the guy who spearheaded the Batman the Animated Series show, so it's not totally obscure in terms of the writer, but it really is a good story. It's pretty amazing. I don't remember if I covered that or not. Regardless, for me, looking at this, it looks awesome because I know that when it comes to, or at least from what I understand, when it comes to anime I think is steeped in like Japanese culture, which is to say, a lot of the honorable things that people do and the kind of honorable battles and honorable warfare, and dying an honorable death. I'm not going to swear to that, by any means. That's probably one of those instances where my ignorance of anime is showing. But again, it's cool to me because I love the character of Batman. I think it's intriguing. But when you take that character and you throw it into an anime style movie or show or however it is that it's going to appear, it becomes something interesting because instead of just getting a Joker who pops up and just does some goofy things, right? Where he's like, today I'm going to copyright fish. You get this really cool sort of inspiration based off of, I would say, Scott Snyder's run on Batman. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with that, and most everybody is by now, but for the new folks who are coming from the anime community and are not really familiar with Scott Snyder's run on the Joker, for years and years and years, the Joker was just kind of this goofball character. And a lot of that goes all the way back to the 1950s with, the Comics Code Authority, different things like that. But with the New 52, when Batman was relaunched, the Joker was dark. I mean, he was sadistic. He had his own face cut off and then just kind of strung it up on his head. I mean, it was dark. I mean, there's one moment where he basically subdues Batman and the rest of the Bat family, and when they wake up, they're sitting in the Batcave and they're looking at these plates when the Joker takes the tops off, and it's their own faces on the plates. So the implications that the Joker removed their faces because their heads are bandaged and everything. It's really dark and it's really, really sadistic and twisted. But to me, that reflects the nature of the Joker. And from my experience with anime, looking at the idea that it's more like, okay, moving beyond what this character does, like what's the core nature of this character? The Joker represents chaos and the absence of law and order. Then let's translate that into him, and then let's just tie in like anime themes. I have no real idea what to expect, but from what I've seen, just from the trailer alone, it looks like it's going to be insane. Plus, if I'm correct in what I've seen, like we're going to see things like Deathstroke, we're going to see Damian Wayne, we're going to see Nightwing, Gorilla Grodd. If that was him, he looks amazing. amazing. He looks so cool. There are so many awesome things with this. And I mean, I don't know. It may very well be that this is an instance where it bridges the gap between my inexperience with anime and actually like bringing me into it. You know, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I saw like the Iron Man anime and like that sucked. I did not like it at all. I don't think many people did from what I gather, but it looks like it'll be really awesome and it looks like it'll be interesting. So I don't know. I mean, for those of you guys who are more knowledgeable about anime than I am, like I'm passing the ball to you. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there who watch these, who watch my videos are probably familiar with anime. I know my editor Gordon is. Say what's up, Gordon. You got to chime in, dude. You got to say something. You got to be like, what's up, guys? I don't know.
Hey everyone, this is Rob's editor Gordon. How you all doing today? So yeah, anime is kind of super duper my thing. Giant robots, waifus, JoJo's. I basically have everything covered for the most part. So yeah, if you've ever seen any sort of weird anime reference in any of Rob's videos, most likely because of me. Alright, with that out of the way, back to Rob.
Anyway, I know a lot of you guys are really familiar with that kind of stuff, but post something down below. Like, you know, let me know what you guys think. I mean, you know, if like correct my knowledge on anime too. And if you can, like if it's something that you guys want to do, like give me a place to start. I'm sure Gordon will just start sending me all these different links. Like start here and here and here and here and here. Again, my experience on anime is based in Dragon Ball. That's it. Like that's the only real anime I ever watched. I know Benny over at Comic Story and tried to get me into, I can't even remember what it was called anymore. It's some anime where like giant robots are eating people or something like that. I don't know. It was weird. And I was like, okay, this is strange. And like, I didn't really have a desire to watch it just because I don't really care about robots eating people. But he tried to get me to watch that. And then there were a couple others that he was trying to get me to watch. And I saw a few of them, but I thought it was so far out there that I couldn't get into it. So like find something a little more toned down. Like don't send me into the deep end. Don't be like, hey Rob, like start with this. And it's like some super weird thing. Like give me something that seems to be familiar, you know, something that I can grasp on a basic level. For my part, I'm coming from like Western animation, Western cartoons. To me, all animations are cartoons. I don't know if like the Japanese community considers anime to be cartoons. I consider them to be cartoons because they're animations. So I mean, anything animated is a cartoon to me. But let me know, I mean, like send me some stuff, like send me some links to stuff and let me know what you guys think about the whole thing. Again, I'm pretty excited. I mean, you know, the Joker's what I'm most excited about because we get to see a sword fight between Batman and the Joker. And I am hyped about that. Like, that's kind of the cool thing. It seems like it gives the Joker so much more character. Like, that's really what I'm harping on here because the Joker, I think, is one of the coolest characters who was never really developed. Like, I mean, he was just there and he was the goofy guy, and he would do some goofy things. But at the end of the day, that's all the Joker ever was. He's just a goofy guy who does goofy things. And sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's dark, but that's really about it. Like, when you get down to it, he's never really been expanded on or explored all that much in DC Comics. It's just, what's the Joker gonna do this time, you know? And that's it. That's why I love the New 52 run of Batman, because it explores so much of that stuff with the Joker. But it looks like the Joker's gonna get so much development in this, and I'm really hyped. Like, I'm really excited. Like, man, a sword fight between Batman and the Joker looks like it'll be awesome. Again, like, it looks like it's gonna be like a highly, you know, dramatized, I don't know how you pronounce that, but it looks like it's gonna be highly dramatic, which I'm kind of interested in. Probably a lot of talking, to be honest. But again, I'm kind of down with that kind of stuff. I kind of like a lot of dialogue that builds character and things like that, because, you know, it goes towards the fact that when something happens to that character, it matters. Like, for example, when it came to the Dragon Ball series, like when Vegeta finally takes his hat off to Goku in the Buu saga, and it's just like, yeah, man, you're better than me. I was like, dude, this is like 200 and something episodes in the making. Like, I'm so happy to see this. It was so awesome to see. I kind of think Vegeta's better than Goku, to be honest. I'm a Vegeta fanboy. Don't know what to tell you, but I don't know. I mean, back to the topic at hand, I do think it's going to be awesome. I think that for a lot of people like myself who are sort of in this no man's land where they don't really know where to start with anime, they don't really know how to get into it, they don't even really know much about the anime culture, I think this could be like an amazing bridge point, because for a person who's coming from comic books, and especially with someone as high profile as Batman, throwing him into an anime style movie of sorts, and then taking all the characters that we're familiar with, reworking them and making them probably more intriguing than they are right now in a lot of the animated forms that exist, I think it's going to be awesome. Because when you look at the existing DC animated universe, as awesome as it is, with stuff like, you know, The Dark Knight Returns and like Flashpoint, again, a lot of that's basically established on how we see the characters right now. Like how you see the Joker, how you see the Flash, how you see Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, how you see those characters at the moment is how those stories are done, because they're based on existing comic book stories. Whereas, as far as I'm aware, there's really no, you know, manga for like Batman. I mean, grabbing that whole concept, grabbing that character and throwing him into the anime style and doing sort of a tip of the nod to the Batman mythos, while at the same time adapting it to the anime culture that people are familiar with, I think it'll be cool. And I think it'll be interesting, and I think it'll come out to be something pretty stellar. But in any event, just kind of my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and I will catch you all later. Peace.